Hey friends, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we would do a plan a card with me video. I haven't done one of these in a little while, and since we're starting off the new year, I thought maybe you guys might enjoy this. I've done a few of these videos in the past and you guys seem to really enjoy them, so we're going to go ahead and do that today. So I am going to create a card. I want to use Hello Bluebird because I know that I have a card that I need to have up for them Friday. So that's the card that we're going to plan out today. I'd also like it to be a Valentine card because I did start my Valentine card series. That first video is already up on my channel. If you missed it, you can check it out. It's using the Lawn Fawn porcupines, the brand new set. So today we are going to do Hello Bluebird and make a Valentine card. Those are the only two things that I have in my mind. I'm going to take you through my whole process from having zero thoughts to what I'm going to create to having a whole concept figured out by the end of this video. So Hello Bluebird and Valentine cards. So the thing that makes this a little bit tricky is that Hello Bluebird does not have any Valentine themed stamp sets. So I'm going to flip through my stash and just look for things that have to do with love or hugs, something like that. Pull out anything that's kind of speaking to me, and then I will show you what I've come up with and I'll choose a set from there. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I've pulled out 3 different stamp sets that could be contenders. The first is this one called Dear Santa. This is a Christmas themed set, obviously, since it's called Dear Santa. But we've got this nice little mailbox with the snow on top, this adorable stack of critters, and some cards. And I think this could be really fun to try to turn into a Valentine's set because Valentine's Day is the time where we're sending out little Valentine cards, even when we're children, that we start sending out cards or, trading cards at school, handing out cards. So I think this could be a really cute one. It would have to rely heavily on the color palette, but I think this could be a fun challenge. And to be honest, I really wanted to use this set for Christmas this year and didn't get to it. So I have had this set on my mind for probably a month now. So I would love the challenge to turn this into a Valentine set. And I don't think the issue that there's snow on top is a problem at all. I mean, I've got snow on the ground here and we have snow until May here. So I don't think there's anything wrong with a little snow for February. So that could be one option. The next one is this set here. This is the Big Hugs Woodland, and we've got some little critters touching noses. We've got some that are hugging. We've also got this nice big stack of critters. This could be more of like a friendship Valentine card with this image here. So that's a good option. I've made a couple of cards with this set in the past and have really enjoyed it. So we have that. And then the third option is this one called Bloomin' Happy. And a lot of these critters have little bundles of flowers. So I think this could be one that we could use for Valentine's Day as well. I think you can make something really sweet. And we do have like Hope Your Day is Lovely. So we could kind of like customize this and turn it into a Valentine card as well. So I think any of these 3 are good options. Let's see, which one should we do for today? You know what? I'm really leaning towards this Dear Santa set. I just really have had this on my mind for a while, and I think the challenge could be really fun to take a Christmas set and turn it into Valentine's Day. So I think we're going to go with this set today. So next I want to think about what die I want to use with this. I'd like to do something with a frame, and I think the postage frame die that just came out in December could be a really fun one because with the whole like sending mail theme, I think that could be really good with this one. But I'll pull that out and a couple of other options and we'll go from there. So hang on one second. All right, once again, I have pulled out 3 different options. So this is the postage frame die that I was talking about. I would only be using the outer piece, which would just make that little postage edge frame to give us a little bit of something that is centering our images in the middle of our scene here. I think that one could be really fun. If I wanted to go with something that was a little bit wider though, we have this Hello Bluebird Gallery Frame 1. That one would give us more of a frame, like a sturdier, thicker frame. So that's an option. And then kind of in between these two, we have the Gallery Frame number 4. For all of these, I would only be using the outer frame because I want to take up a nice bit of room, you know, with these larger images on the front of the card. So this one is kind of a nice in-between because it has something similar to that postage frame edge, but it is a little bit of a wider surface area. So, I don't know. I think the postage frame die just fits so well with this stamp set. So I think that's the one that I'm going to go for. It is a little bit more limiting though, because if I want to use some pattern paper, which I think I do, because I really want to drive home the idea of a Valentine card, and on its own, the images, you know, they need a little bit of help. So I think pattern paper in a Valentine theme could really accentuate that theme. But it is a narrower border, so I'm gonna have to look for a pattern that is nice and small so that you see a good bit of it on that die edge. So let's go ahead and pull out some pattern papers and see what we could use. So these are the 2 pattern paper pads that I have from last year. I actually haven't bought any new pattern paper pads this year. If you watched my plan with me video, the planning out my entire month, which if you haven't seen that, you might want to check that out. I think it's really going to be really useful for those of you who want to be posting more consistently with your content, whether that's on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or your blog or whatever. I went through my whole month and just showed you how I plan out an entire month at a time, and you know, that way I can stay on schedule and don't forget assignments, and just make sure that I'm catering to the algorithm, working with it rather than having it work against me by posting consistently. But anyway, in that video, I mentioned that I'm going on vacation in February. And so I'm really trying not to spend money on craft supplies before that vacation. So I'm going to use my old stuff. I think there's no problem with that. I'm not 100% sure if these are still available, but if they are, I will link them in the description bar below, where I always link all of my products. So these are the 2 that I have from last year. Like I mentioned, I have the Simple Stories Sweet Talk and the Simple Stories Happy Hearts. And this one already has a frame from last year, I guess, that I could use. We're not going to use it on today's card though, because I don't think there's enough room in this box. But when I make an extra frame like this, I like to just save it with the papers, because then I know what collection it came from. So maybe we'll use this on another video in the Valentine card series. So we can save that, maybe with some leftover stamped images or something. I think that could be fun. So let's go ahead and flip through these 2 paper pads quickly. I don't want to take up too much of your time today, but I do want to show you what my process looks like when I am coming up with a card concept. So stripes could be a good idea, but to be honest, I don't know if that's going to pack enough of a visual punch for Valentine's Day for me. So let's see what else we have. These are spread too far apart. The words also would be cut down into such a thin strip that it wouldn't make any sense. Same with the tape deck and the exos and the conversation hearts. None of these are really going to work well. This one could be okay, but it's not much of a Valentine theme again. The floral is pretty, but again, I'd rather save that for something where I can use more of it. Right now we're looking for something that is only going to be seen in a thin border around the card front. The dots could work. The The floral could work, but to be honest, that looks more spring when it's only by itself, and so I don't think it really lends itself to Valentine's Day. Okay, and then this pad is going to repeat. So it looks like this pad doesn't really have a whole lot of great options for us. Let's try this one instead, the Sweet Talk. So let's see. Ooh, okay, that floral could be, or I mean, that heart print could be nice, but it's too small of a strip. But if we have a bigger piece of that, that one could be something we could use. The plaid is also not bad. The hearts is nice, but it's going the wrong direction. Like if the hearts were facing this way, that might be a good option, but it's facing this way, and our card is going to have to go this way because of the way the images are designed. So, oh, there's another piece of that heart. So there's an option. Let's keep that in mind. These hearts are too large and spread apart to really work for that design. The floral could be nice. It doesn't scream Valentine's Day, but the colors work. Maybe. We'll keep that one in mind as well. Ooh. That one's kind of pretty, and that's kind of a good scale. Maybe. Or the hearts. The hearts are nice and small. That could work. Okay, this pad is definitely better options. Oh, there's that print again. So we could use that one. I do really like that. Or the tiny conversation hearts. I don't know if that really goes with the male theme, though. You know, the postage. Or the sprinkles. The sprinkles are cute, but again, I'm trying to find something that doesn't compete with the theme. So this one makes me think of like baking and sweets and chocolates and all of that, which we don't have in our stamps. So... okay, and then this pad is going to repeat. So that was our options. Okay, so let's go back and reconsider. I think I'm going to say no to the conversation hearts. I think that one would be really cute, and we should use that for this Valentine card series, but I don't think it really fits the theme of this card. So we could do the small hearts. We could do these tiny hearts, which honestly, this kind of reminds me of like a stamp. I wonder how tricky it would be to line it up correctly though, so that you make sure that you get some of the hearts in that thin area. I don't know, there's enough of those hearts there. You know, they're not just in lines, they're kind of like in a diagonal pattern. So I think we would still get some hearts no matter where the die cuts the paper. So this one might be the one I'm going to go with for today. Again, the flowers, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to suit with the snow, you know, the snow piled on top of the mailbox. Although this one could work because we do have the blue, which kind of ties in with the snow. You know what? Maybe we'll go with this one. Maybe we'll go with this one. I think this could be a good option because it's got the color palette that I want to work with, especially tying in the blue of the snow and everything. And the print is small and scattered enough that I think it could really work nicely. I do like those hearts, but I don't know. I think these don't really tie in with the snow, which, you know, that's going to be a color that we're working with. So I think as far as making the whole color palette more cohesive, this is going to be the print to go with. So, do I want to pull that out now, or? You know what? Let's save it. Let's save it for the video, the actual card making video, where I pull that out and just show it, just so the people who are watching that video can really see where the supplies are coming from, in case they haven't watched this original video. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one back away. We're not going to use that today. So here are the supplies that we are working with today. It's going to be this stamp set with the postage frame die, all from Hello Bluebird, and then the Sweet Talk papers. And I almost wonder if instead of doing like a background, actually maybe we can use some of this cloud print. I think we could use some of this cloud print in there as well, and then just do like a little bit of a higher snowdrift for the images to stand on. And that way we can incorporate even more of that pattern paper. I think that could be nice. Maybe we'll use that as well. So let's keep that in mind. And that way we have a quick and easy background where we don't have to like pull out our Distress Oxide inks or Copic color a background. We'll concentrate our Copic coloring on the stamped images themselves and then rely on some pattern paper to really bring the card to life. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp these images out so we know exactly what we're going to use. I'm going to pull out my Misty. All right, so I've got a piece of Spectrum Noir Ultra Smooth Premium 8 cardstock, which is my preferred cardstock for Copic coloring, and it is cut down to the size of a card front. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this is the size card that we're making. So I'm just going to pop this in, my Misty. We're not going to stamp just yet. I like to turn it the other way for stamping. But all I'm going to do right now is figure out the layout for this card. So I am going to open this up and we will pull out the stamps and kind of figure it out. So I know that I want to use that border die, so I need to keep some space around the edges free. So I'm not going to put my images too close to the side because I want to keep some of that space open. And I also know if I'm going to use that cloud print that I'm going to need a taller snowdrift. Maybe have the sentiment down here. I'm not sure yet, but we will kind of just play around and see what we're going to do. All right, and then of course we're going to want to use the mailbox. We'll scoot that a little bit closer. Maybe we'll even have this image overlapping slightly so that it looks like the little mouse is inserting his card into the mailbox. We also have this little bird. We could put this down on the ground or we could put it up on the mailbox. We could put it in different places, kind of sitting on the bow maybe. I think maybe we'll put it up on the mailbox to give the card a little extra height. I think that could be good. Scooch these a little bit more centered. And then we have a couple extra little envelopes. So maybe we'll have a couple kind of scattered down at the ground. Could have a couple here. And I know I'm probably going to want to use more than 2, but there's only 2 envelope images. So I'm going to move one and just kind of save that in mind. Maybe we'll have another one down over here just for balance. So we have, you know, 1, 2, 3, which is more of a visual triangle, which is just a rule of design to keep in mind. So maybe we need 2 of this one. Okay, what are we going to do for the sentiment? I need to think about that. Sending warm and loving thoughts. That could be one. Or sending paper hugs. I don't know. Sending paper hugs would fit nicely down at the bottom. Sending warm and loving thoughts could be a little bit tricky to fit in there. So let's do the sending paper hugs. Let's see how that would look. Maybe we have to scooch this up even a little bit higher. And then let's get this sentiment centered. And making sure that we keep that border, remember? We want to have that space for that postage frame. So maybe something like that. Is that kind of centered? I think so. And then we could have an envelope over here, kind of accenting that sentiment, and then another envelope right here. I think that could be good. What also would be nice, ooh, there is a little heart in this stamp set. Could be nice to just add a little heart in here, or even maybe stamp it a couple of times and have a trio of hearts. Let's see if it'll let go of my finger. Is there a die for that heart? Yes, there is. Okay, good. That's good, because then we can stamp it out ahead of time. Yeah, I think that could be cute. And the heart is definitely going to add to the Valentine theme. Once again, it doesn't want to let go of me. There we go. These little ones are so tricky to get to stack there. But anyway, that's basically where we want it. So now that I think I have a layout, I'm going to grab my cell phone. I always like to snap a photo, and that way I know exactly how my card design was supposed to go. So there we go. That was there's the picture that I can refer back to when I actually go to start designing this card. Once the images are all colored and I want to start laying everything out and putting it back together, I can go back to this reference photo to remind me how I wanted things to be placed. Sometimes I vary just slightly from that as the card starts to come together, but it really is helpful to have that reference photo because you forget, you know, as you start to go on with the card. All right, so let's pull off the sentiment. We don't need that yet. And then we will stamp out these images. I'm just gonna place them off to the side, and I will turn my cardstock panel around. I'm using my Waffle Flower 6x6 grip mat. This one has lived in my Misty ever since I started using it there, and I really do enjoy it because it really is nice for holding your paper in place and not having to worry about using your magnet or anything like that. So let's lay out these images, get them ready. That little heart was under there. Okay, get that. And then we'll put the mailbox maybe over here, just making sure I have plenty of room to die cut around that. And then we'll stamp some envelopes. Maybe we'll put those there. We'll put our little bird down here. That one. That one. And then we'll save room for the second one. We'll have to stamp that out twice. And then we'll do a couple of little hearts here. So I'm going to close the door of my Misty so I can pick all of those images up. Grab my Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink. We'll get these inked up. I like to get my stuff good and inky, so I ink with a few passes over each image. And then I will use my Twiddler's Nook pressure pal to press those down into place. Okay. Pretty good. I always stamp at least twice though, so let's go ahead and go again. Because I like a nice dark thick black line. Well, not necessarily thick, but I like it to be substantial. I don't like it if the line is too thin, because then it can be easy to go over the lines if you don't see them clearly. So I like it nice and bold. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm taking my Lawn Fawn stamp chamois and just cleaning off my images. Sorry for the noise, that's the problem with these live videos. So I think I'm gonna do another one of these envelopes. We'll just pop that one over. And then we want another heart. Add that one. Again, if it'll just let go of my finger. There we go. Okay, and then the rest of these I can just pop back on the stamp sheet because we don't need them anymore. By the way, let me know in the comments if you would have chosen one of the other stamp sets instead, because maybe I can use that one in a different video upcoming if you guys really wanted to see that one in action. But I'm excited about this one. I think this one is going to be really fun to try to create that Valentine card out of a Christmas set. Plus, I just love this image. I love this little image with this sweet little dog and cat and mouse and bird. So super cute. And who, as a card maker, doesn't love a mail-themed stamp set, as in M-A-I-L, you know, the postage. You know, they're sending cards, so who doesn't love that? All right, one more of these little hearts I think will be good. So we'll stamp that out twice. And there we go. Pop the little stamp back where it belongs so it doesn't get lost. And then we can pull our sheet out and have that ready for coloring. This thing is nice and sticky, which is fantastic because it really does do a great job of holding everything in place. So, all right, well, the last thing that I want to think about is the actual card base, because a little bit of that cardstock is going to show through around the edges of the frame, the postage frame. So I want to choose a cardstock that is going to match nicely with the pattern paper that we chose for that frame. So let me see here if I've got anything already scored and folded off to the side that might work. We could do maybe like a Lawn Fawn guava cardstock. That could kind of be nice. It's not too bright. The card is folded the wrong way though, so I'd have to, oh, here's one. So there's one that's folded the correct way that we're gonna need. That could be pretty together. What else do we have? We have Barn Red. That's a possibility. Or we could go with something like MFT Snow Cone. That's a nice match as well. Do we want something that's going to match, or do we want something that's going to add a little pop of color though? That's what I'm thinking about. That's a really good question. Both ways would be pretty. I'm thinking maybe a match for this one. It's such a close match to that pattern paper. That would be almost a shame not to. Alright, I think I'm going to set this one aside for that video. I can always change my mind and go back to a different one in the moment if I see, once I get it together, that it's not enough of a pop for me. But for now, I like to have everything bundled and ready to go for the video, so I think this is the one that I'm going to set aside. So there we go. So we went from having no idea what we were going to do, just knowing what brand and kind of what theme we were going to go with, to having a stamp set picked out, a die picked out. Also, I did pull out the Hello Bluebird Hill and Dale because, like I said, I was going to need a snowdrift down at the bottom of the scene, so I went ahead and pulled that out. So I have that set aside as well. We have the pattern paper chosen. We've got our card base chosen. and we have our images stamped and ready to go. So that is how I pull a card concept together, and then I just make little bundles of everything and I stack it in a little bin on my desk just like that. And I have all of my cards for the week ready to go. I do that typically on Sunday afternoons, and that way each day when it's time to film I can just pull out that bundle and I know exactly what I'm working with, and then I can pull up the photo on my phone again and I know exactly what that card concept is going to be. So that is how I do it. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this video helped you out. If it did, please let me know in the comments. I know just because people were interested in it last year doesn't mean that that is still the case. So please do let me know if this is something that you find helpful, because I can definitely create more of these. I can do one maybe every season or even once a month if you guys really find them helpful. So please do leave those comments and let me know. If there's any other kind of video that you would like to see coming up on my channel, also leave that in the comments as well, because I'm still brainstorming ideas and writing them down. I think 2024 is going to be an amazing year of card making. I hope to have so many ideas to inspire you this year, and I hope you guys are going to be here for it. So thank you so much for watching and for being here, spending your time with me. I really appreciate each and every one of you. It means the world to me to have you here. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon with the completion of this video, which will be on Friday. So stay tuned and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.